There's a really funny phenomenon on Tekken YouTube where anytime I mention Knee or Korea, people will come in the comments and assume that I hate Arsin Ash because I'm not talking about him. And if you know me at all, that could not be farther from the truth. Let me explain. When I study Tekken and study games in general, I like to approach it from a very theoretical, fundamental base. Okay, I really want to understand kind of what the game is about and what the proper way to play it is, right? I think it's useful and it's more fun for me to talk about things on a theoretical level. It's like studying my music theory before I try to compose my own work. When I think of Arsin, I think of somebody who is so beyond the theory. Okay, like I think of the jazz greats or the the classical greats, the people who obviously understood the theory, but when it came time to perform, they would be in flow state, they would break the rules, they would come back to it, and it would always be so incredible. You know what I mean? I've played Arsin a few times now, both in tournament and casually, and that's the sense I get from him versus playing somebody like Knee. He is so good at winning. There's really no other way to put it. It's not about whether he took a smart mix-up or whether he did something really dumb that could have killed him. He senses the blood in the water and he just goes. And it usually works. And on top of that, he has the reactions and the practice and the diligence to back up that kind of sixth sense. It feels like sometimes he's unhittable. I played him in a bunch of first to fives over 2 nights, and I didn't hit a single demo man from Noctis. And it wasn't just run up demo man. It was like demo man on wake up, stand still demo man, defensive demo man. None of them hit. I probably did 18 of them in like, 8 first to fives? None of them could hit. So Arsin is not only fundamentally sound, he knows when to let go of the rules in order to get the win. And I think that is what makes him one of my favorite players, is because he has done it consistently. First to 2 is one of the most high variance forms of Tekken that you can play. And he's won 4 Evos. Not to mention all the other titles. This guy is so consistent, and there's nothing you can do but respect it. I'm actually surprised he even has haters, because this dude is insane. I'm going to play the pre-roll footage here, because it's actually super cool. If you want to see the match analysis right away, just jump to the timestamp below. Tasty Steve does like a little mini interview. But first, let's look at how it's been going so far. I got so carried away glazing Arsin, because genuinely, he's one of my favorite players, and I think it's insane that people think I don't like Arsin. Okay. This is not Knee versus Low High. This is Knee versus Arsin Ash. I can see why you think I hate him. All right, this is how the Evo showcase has been going so far. Nobi won 2 straight, dethroned by Knee. Knee beats Low High, and now they got the grudge match, the match everybody was looking forward to. Knee versus Arsin.
Now that we're getting to the topper parts of this ladder, I hope you guys understand what you're witnessing right now. We talked about what Knee has done for Tekken, but Arsin Ash has actually put the Tekken world on its head, and with that name, that's going to be our next Evo champion, multiple Evo champion, Arsin Ash.
Tasty Steve is a good host. He said topper matches, which was so funny. But But look at that. I was just talking about Demo Man. I couldn't hit him. What, 7 to 10 first to 5, and none of them hit. Defensive, offensive, wake up, none of the Demo Man hit. Bro is a machine.
With a commandingly fast goodness. This is looking like beatdown. Can Al find a way back in? I don't think so. Arsin Ash up 2-0. One game away from winning yet another Evo title in Tekken 7. Survive the rain drive attempt.
What a block, dude.
There it is. Arsin Ash is your Tekken 7 champion.
4-time. 4-time champion. How could I hate the 4-time champion? How could anybody accuse me of that? That is so sick. That is so incredible. I'm done, bruh. All right, it comes out for the interview.
Clap it up. It's okay, bro. This is an Evo champion you guys are looking at.
These interviews are cool because
Ash, the not one.
These interviews are cool because
not
Arsin's English is so good, so they get like a really nice flow.
Evo champion. I don't even know who else can even claim that. Do you understand how important that is? That there's nobody else that can be like, yeah, I've won it 4 times.
Yeah, it's a dream. I think it's a dream. I think I'm living a dream. You know, yeah, it feels so so good to even realize that I have won.
And he's so humble about it.
So I want to ask you
I hate
this,
him.
and I haven't asked you this before, but I feel like I know the answer. Who is your rival in Tekken 7? If somebody was like, yeah, dude, this is my person this is my strongest rival. Who is your Arslan Ash's rival?
I think there are a few. One of them is definitely is Ni, and I do actually consider Atif. And
Ni and Atif as his primary rivals.
yeah, I think these two, I guess.
So last question, and I'm going to let you get to your video games, right? I'm going to let you get to the fighting. What character would you like to see come back in Tekken 8?
I think I really wanted Jun to come back in Tekken 8, and
okay.
she's back.
I think he said
From
that before.
past characters, I think I don't want anybody else.
Nobody else, not Armor King?
No Armor King.
What? All right, you know what?
Yeah, no Armor
I
King, man.
thought we
Let's
were
go.
friends. I can't believe you, Arslan
Armor King,
Ash.
man.
With that being said, let's take a look back at these two competitors that you're about to
Oh
see
yeah,
play.
this is a lot of history, man, and this breakdown is going to be way more in depth.
Oh, man, I love that character.
Steve trying to bait him with that Armor King. You know, Evo Japan, a mid region, a Tekken powerhouse region on the
Look at
map.
that, they are 10 years apart.
Follow him all the time.
That's
Like,
insane.
Do you realize that you've changed the scope of like Tekken?
They're
Not just,
10 years
like, you know what I'm
apart.
saying, just
Two
fighting.
very successful
Just to
players.
Put his stand
How can you hate on them, man? All right, these are the characters they picked. We got Ni on Jack, Fang, and Paul, giving up the Brian for the Jack. We have Arslan on Azucena, Nina, and June, one of
I'm
his
not actually
favorites he was
surprised by
hoping for to
any
come
of
back.
these character choices, right?
What you said earlier.
Arslan sticking his tongue out and smiling, having way too good of a time on stage. So, Ni's on the Jack, Arslan on the Azucena. And I think what I want you guys to pay attention to is Arslan is really good at telling a story of how he wants to play and then putting twists in that story when nobody expects it, okay?
See what they can do against Knees Jack 8.
Opens up with a lot of jabs. Ni's retaliation is to go full aggression, so Arslan backs up and defends. He misses the punish here. Arslan's still in defense mode. Mashes a couple times. This is really interesting here. Look at this. After the block, he gets frame advantage. Hits a down 3 as his, like... This does multiple things. So he has the frame advantage, and he can play a mix-up if Ni just defends. You can see that Ni retaliated. So some people, on reading retaliation here, right? Ni does a down forward 2. Some people will control with just a mid or a frame trap. Arslan decides to go for a mix-up, so it can cover both options. Probably not that deep, but it's an interesting observation on his preference. Right after that mix-up hits, he does a mid-high string that's unsafe. So it almost feels like... This almost feels like scrub gameplay, and that's not a disrespectful term. It is just, again, Arslan is good at telling one story and adding a twist. 1-2, unsafe. Right, he tried to mash there on the severe disadvantage, and he still gets this low block. Offense, offense, offense. Right, now, how does he switch? This is really important. Doesn't happen yet. There it is. You would expect many different things. You could expect him to continue the offense. You would expect him to just move around, maybe space a little closer. But Arslan becomes completely unpredictable, and this is part of his magic. Let's run it back one more time. Offense, offense, offense. Starts spacing at this far range, does a running 3-2. Knee blocks it, does this string offense. That's going to be important later to see. Raw down forward 2. It's like I couldn't tell if he wanted to be aggressive. I couldn't tell if he was backing off to defend. It was impossible to say. Yep, and now he tries to enforce some offense off of the heat burst and then gets smashed by the guard break. It looks like Jack spent meter here. That's the only reason I think you could justify a move that good. Yeah, look at his heat gauge right here. See that little flash of green? When he does this guard break, it spends a third of his meter. And then he heat smashes into the kill. That is ridiculous. So if Jack's going in stance, I'm ducking. Alright, Arslan playing 2-1, and then he does the down forward 1-4, but this time he doesn't do the mid extension. That overhead, he switches into the stance. Liberator. Goes low, Knee blocks it, but because of the back turn state from Azucena, the punish misses. Right here, look at this. Knee blocks the low, does a retaliation move, but Arslan's natural back turn away evades it. More spacing, and then this time Knee gets the raw down forward too. Get up 4 is now safe. Arslan misses the 1-2 punish, and Knee misses the punish. Trading a couple jabs. Look at this. They both mash and they both trade. Twice. Same move. 2 jab and standing 3. Knee reads Arslan mashing again, but is incorrect. Right? Arslan, so good at remaining unpredictable. Cannot tell if he's going to play super solid or if he's going to do something crazy. And here we go. This is amazing. Forcing the offense. Just jab, jab, jab. Knee goes into a duck, right? A high evasive down punch. Arslan eats the string, backdashes the follow-up, and hits the whiff punish. Arslan was showing all of these strings and jabs like he was going to stay in there. And then he backs off. And now the while running 3-2, Knee woke up and tried to do a heat burst. Ready? You'll see it right here. Frame by frame, Knee's in the power crush state, striking a pose, but there's 2 strong hits that kill. Insanely good move. And good use by Arslan. There's not a situation where you can sidewalk left, which is the only counter to this move. Unsafe string. Knee hits the jackhammer. Knee gets clipped out of his next move. Oh, but he finds a down forward too. While standing 4, or get up 4. Big whiff, but no punish. And again, Arslan not afraid to take the unsafe option. Let's look at this. After while running 3-2, frame advantage, he does a in-frame down back 3. Now he does the power low out of back turns, back turn 3. That puts him in Liberator stance, in frame advantage. So if if Knee decides to check with a mid, Arslan can beat him to the punch. If Knee decides to do a high or a low, he'll get parried, right? On top of that, Arslan chooses the mid that will go under highs, over lows, because she jumps, and because he has the frame advantage, he can outpace any slow check from Knee. The downside is it's a -14 move, right? But because he's so unpredictable on whether he wants to mash or stay passive, it's impossible to tell what his choice is going to be. He's so good at staying unpredictable. If he were just being solid, maybe he just takes the health lead and leaves stance. Or just does a safe mid. If he were being tricky, maybe he goes for the hell sweep, right? But the hell sweep gets interrupted. Instead, he goes for the unsafe mid, which somebody you would expect defensive like Knee would just block. But somehow Arslan caught him retaliating. And here, again, nothing super complicated. While running 3-2, because it takes the most space and gives him frame advantage, then he just does the big mid. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy, but he finds a way to always make it work. 1-1-1. A lot of aggression again. Ducks the armor break this time. He does the down back 3 into the mid out of back turn. No attack throw, though. Okay, this is a little interesting. He does the down forward 1-4, and previously he did the overhead mid. This time he goes into stance, but for some reason, Knee's high hits. It looks like if she does this transition, you can still interrupt her. She won't parry the high. Ducks the high this time, Knee does. And Arslan is still pushing offense. Raw down forward 2 does not connect, but the punish is not enough to really dissuade it. Good block, but that's not the punish. Knee running the offense right now. Extensions are bodying Arslan. Arslan goes into heat burst, defends Knee's heat burst. Cheeky heat smash attempt to try to catch Knee approaching, but this time Knee has caught on that Arslan is kind of in a mashy mood. Okay, so he backdashes and whiff punishes. So keep that in mind. The sense right now is Arslan was in a mashy mood. Let's see what Arslan adjusts. Lots of backdashing. 3 seconds of straight backdashing. 1, 2, 3, little forward, 3 forward, 2 forward, and then he does the while running 3-2. That string you have to duck. This Azucena string is a second hit high, so it's safe. Knee catches the punish. This is kind of a flavor of European Tekken. He does this with the chance the opponent might make the wrong punish, and then he gets him. You don't see that very often from every style. I think that's a distinctly European style that Pakistan, or maybe Arslan specifically, has been able to pick up as well. Anything it takes to win. Doesn't matter how solid or unsolid it is. It's like a fighter's instinct. Knee is fighting in stance again, uses heat to extend his pressure. But Arslan, after so much passiveness this whole round, right? He gets little bursts of aggression from Arslan, right? Like that full crouch low. He does some jockeying before his wall running 3-2, but otherwise he's fully passive. Okay? So he backdashes some more, and then he just throws the while running 3-2. It's a very interesting approach to using this move, because my understanding of the move is it's so good, you just do it whenever you can. And the fact that your opponent has to play around it gives you windows to play from advantage, in predictable windows, right? However, Arsin is taking a different approach. He is fighting with Azucena and leaving the super weapon in his back pocket. He's like, I got you. I can take you with my fist. I can take you with my knife. And then when you forget that he has a gun in his pocket, he pulls it out. And that's how he's using the while running 3-2. It's not the default. It's the, if you forget how much coverage it has, you will die. And I think that's a great usage of the move. It's very different from what I would expect. But again, Arsin breaking the rules when it's fit to win. Now, Knee's Paul has been very aggressive this whole showcase. And here, I think he got counter hit, and Arsin confirmed the rest of the string. I didn't know you could do that. Arsin finishing the down forward 1-4 string again. How often do you see Knee whiff? Right? Like a significant whiff that gets whiff punished. Arsin here, translating his mashiness and aggression into the story twist I was mentioning. Right? Right here. Arsin just backdashes. 2 backdashes into whiff punish. No 1-1, no down forward 1-4, no while running 3-2. Just backdash whiff punish. Takes the back turn low into the counter hit. That's a frame trap. Insanely good character, man. Please don't nerf her. 1-1-1. Raw stance, low. Very, very tricky offense, but he gets clipped by the heat engager. Hammer of the gods. Heat burst to just break out of the pressure. 1 down back 4. Raw heat burst. I don't know if I agree with that heat usage. Now, Paul has heat, health advantage. Azucena is at half health with nothing recoverable. Clips the sidestep, but Arsin mashes out a response with an unsafe string, mind you. 3-2 is unsafe. But for some reason, Arsin, I guess, had a feeling that even if Knee didn't block, or did block the first hit, he would eat the second. Look, Knee did a sidestep, crouch dash, and ate the second hit. Like he expected a 1-hit retaliation. While running 3-2 hits, now the health is even. Doesn't react to the low again. And this is, again, Arsin is not the story he tells you. What have we been seeing so much here? Mash, 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 right? Mash, which Knee sidestep beat, but there was a string extension. While running 3-2. Run up, immediate while running 3-2. Dash timing, delay. This is really important. This dash delay caught Knee's sidestep left. Okay? So remember, I was talking about Korean Tekken being all about realignment. Arsin is not a slouch, okay? Realigns here, and then does the low when Knee decides to Death Fist. He counter hit the Death Fist. And now, right here. Remember what I was saying about Arsin being mash, mash, mash immediate timing. He has a stance position here where he could go for a hell sweep, or a mid, or a safe mid, you know, many options. He walks forward, right? Walks forward. I wish this weren't buffering. Right here. Knee fuzzy ducks. But because Arsin delayed his timing walking forward, Knee missed the fuzzy timing and stands back up and dies. Look at this again. Low hits, mini walk forward, Knee fuzzies and dies. If Arsin did immediate hell sweep, he gets blocked. Perfect timing from Arsin again. 1-1-1. Again, playing these immediate timing pokes. Really hard to get around. This time, the string extension finds its mark. More string extensions. Down 3 face poke. Down 3 mid. He's playing the command list. And look at how much damage it's done. Right? Remember, Knee whiffed last time. So it makes sense for Knee to try to find a solid timing instead of contesting the pokes right away. But in doing all of that defense, Arsin is just making these 50-50s. There's no crazy mix-ups here. He's re-enabled the low-rank gameplay. And this story is very, very loud and clear right now. He's hitting buttons, uses the heat burst. While running 3-2, reactable low gets beaten. Okay, Knee trying to reestablish control, but then he gets mashed on and dies. Look at this, though. This is, again, the Arsin story receiving the twist. What did we see for the first 30 seconds? Immediate poke, immediate poke, immediate poke. Okay? So once Knee starts reestablishing control, hit, 1-2, Knee remembers there's a lot of immediate timing pokes. And whether it's conscious or not, it's definitely in his subconscious. Because what does Knee do? Sidesteps. He does a sidestep button instead of immediate mix-up or immediate check to stop the pokes. Right? So Knee thinks he can either sidestep, get a counter hit, or Arsen's just going to stand block. But Arsin does neither of those things. He mashes the medium speed heat smash. If Arslan decided to do like a jab here, he loses. If Arslan decided to do a down forward 2, he probably gets sidestepped. But the heat smash tracks and is slow enough off of this frame disadvantage, off the 1-2. Actually, down forward 2 would probably work here. It's more like any immediate small poke would lose. But Arsin picking a medium speed move automatically counters Knee's sidestep. Extremely effective decision. It's safe because it's a heat smash. And disrespecting in that situation, look at him smiling. He knows what he did. Disrespecting in that situation only loses if Paul rips a down forward 2 or rips a magic 4. But magic 4 wouldn't even kill here, right? If Knee did sidestep back 3, which he did against, I believe, Nobi in his set back then he beats another immediate timing retaliation. But Arslan just picking the right move. It's like magic. Now he's against Fang. He's up 2-0. And Fang, having a much stronger poking game, will probably contest that style that Arslan was doing. See, the back 4 already clips him. What is this duck? What was that duck? Fang does that, and Arslan ducked? Like, it could have been a mid, it could have been down forward 3, it could have been like down forward 1. But he gets a punish. Back 3, first one we've seen while running 3-2. 4-hit string, just rips it while running 3-2. Down forward 1 string. Liberator stance, low poke. Oh, he heat burst on whiff confirm. Whiff, heat burst. That was on reaction. Raw stance. I love this. He had frame advantage. So he uses Azucena's hop into back turn and then does the fast mid. Fast counter hit mid and trades with the back 4. That was very sick. Now Arsin backdashing. Tries a down forward 2 on the timing he expected. Couldn't get it. Small whiff punish on the down 2. Down forward 1-4. Does the high string again. Knee does not duck. Oh my goodness. This is tricky. He kept doing all the extensions. This time he goes into stance, right? And remember, this move goes under highs, over lows, and if he has frame advantage, will outpace a mid. So because he did a stance cancel, like if you do a string into a stance, the generic Tekken rule is that you do not have frame advantage. So you're relying on the mental advantage. Your opponent has been conditioned to expect strings, so now you're in the stance and they're just blocking. That's what happened to Knee. He's just blocking. Knee realizes, oh shit, he's in stance, and jabs. But it trades. And if it didn't trade, it probably would have evaded. And this combo is just so nasty. Resplats. Now, people were accusing Arslan here of playing the crack. And I actually don't think that's what happened here. Arslan maybe had a good amount of practice. Maybe somebody who did play it gave him a tip. But this is a very, very... the ender that Azucena uses is not far from this move. This is the move you usually use to carry to the wall. So the fact that he did the wall carry option and it hit the wall again, he saw the respawn and probably said, shit, let me try it again. That didn't seem like a crack combo because look, he failed the ender. There's like a way better ender you can get for Azucena. Back 2 punish on the shoulder. He could have done a down forward 2, but the back 2 was not bad. In heat, back 2's a launcher as well. String extension again. These string conditionings are paying off. That's launch punishable. But again, okay, Arslan not caring about these big minus frame moves. Again, it's a brand new game. Who knows all the punishes? So it makes sense. This is that fighting game instinct. Abuse what you can abuse. Nothing yet. Arslan, insane blocks on the low. You call that a crack combo, you guys? Come on. Raw forward 3. This is another very like European like scrub tactic. Respectfully, you drop the combo and run the forward 3. To be fair, a European would not drop that combo, right? This might be more like an American reset. The point is, nothing is outside of Arslan's toolkit. From the solid reactions to the clean strategy, he also has these insane things he'll just toss out. Nee will only do that when he really needs it, but Arsin will do it in a situation where he has a lead, right? Like Arsin has a lead here. He doesn't need to do something crazy, but that's what makes it even more unpredictable. No launch this time. Counter hit. Tornado. Heat burst. Does he break the wall? No, but that's the ender. He got it. Wow. 3-0, man. Like, it feels like what even happened? Like, this happened so quickly. I have to go back. Like, Nee never really got in control? Running 3-2, obviously a problem. String knowledge, obviously a problem. Stance offense, a problem. Like, it felt like Arslan didn't even give Nee a chance to out-Tekken him. When there was a mix-up opportunity, he would just go as raw as possible, pause. He would find these down forward 2 timings. That was probably one of the first few ones that got blocked. Right? The string is not getting ducked, so might as well keep doing it. Use the -14 move because people don't know how to defend the stance yet. What else we got? His punishment is still sharp too. That's the thing. He's doing all of these like green rank tactics while still having the defense and punishment of an Evo champion. That is really, really scary. Like, do you guys know how scary that is? If you can't tell if your opponent's going to play solid or not, but the moment you try to do something a little silly, they punish you like it's like $1 million is on the line. Goodness gracious. Like, that launch. He got so much off that launch. Running 3-2, putting him in the wall. And he ducked it. You realize that? The 2 down back 3s Nee did, he ducked. There were 2. There were 2. Arslan is just so different, man. Arslan is so different. They shake hands. Arslan smiles. Can you... I reviewed the match. I analyzed the match. And it still feels like magic. And that is what is so cool about Arslan to me. Is that he's never truly fully solid. He's never truly playing like a scrub. He's never any single mode. He's telling you what he's going to do, and he does a little switch up right when it matters. And then it's right back to the plan. Right back to the solid, like in this case with his Alcina. Poke, 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 poke. Randomly, he'll turn it off and become unhittable defense with punish, down forward 2 timing. He might move around a lot. All of a sudden, while running 3-2, right? Like, he is just so random in a sound way without losing his defense and his reactions. If I could summarize Arslan Ash, that is the closest I can get because it is such an enigma to me. If you guys have enjoyed this, by the way, please leave a comment, please leave a like. It's really helpful to me. Subscribing is also cool too. Let's check out this interview. Obviously, again, I'm a huge Nee fan, but hopefully you guys know from now that like Arslan is that guy, and I'm a big fan of Arslan Ash. Let's see what the interview is.
His run here on the ladder ends. Nee, I got to ask you, if you next Tekken game, we are very close, just a few months away. How do you feel going into it?
Translation.
나오는 거는 굉장히 너무 오래 있기 때문에 안 나올 줄 알아야 되고 빨리.
Long answer.
He said, you know, we played Tekken 7 for a really long time. You know, there was even a moment there where I was thinking that we were never going to get Tekken 8. But yeah, you can't wait for January 26th for the game to come out.
Awesome. You know, with so much that's changed over the last decade for all the Tekken players, do you plan on changing the way that you train and that you plan for the competitive Tekken scene in the future?
He said, you know, arcades have been a pretty big thing in Korea for a long time, and we're kind of just going into it right now with arcades all closing down and moving over to consoles. So thinking about going into Tekken 8 with training more on console in mind, because that is the competitive format.
Understood. Now, my last question is something I've been asking all of our champions here. What is your message to the Tekken community?
He said he's been playing Tekken since Tekken 1, and you know, he kind of finds it unbelievable that he's playing now till Tekken 8, but he really hopes that Tekken 8 grows a lot bigger than it is right now currently, especially for the players, so that we could take this more professionally and take it to that next level. But yeah, he said he's excited about Tekken 8.
I think we are all excited, so thank you, Nee. Thank you, MYK. We will be back, of course, but first we are going to go to our friend, Mr. Tasty Steve, with another...
Yeah, that was the Arslan Ash versus Nee set. Long requested. Hopefully my analysis lived up to your expectations. Again, comments if I missed anything. Please leave a like if you enjoyed it. Love doing these reviews, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying them. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.
好き放題やってんじゃねえぞ